Hello, fellow humans. My name is Ed.
And my name is Ben, and this is Brown Bear Radio.
The podcast that helps you feel more at homo. We're here to communicate, titillate, and educate,
Because community doesn't happen.
unless you make it happen. Hi, Ben.
Hey Ed, how you going?
Good, thank you. Good. I'm very, very excited for today's episode. It's all about loneliness. I feel like loneliness is this podcast's absolute bread and butter jam because this is connection in action. We are going to open up. We're going to talk about gay shit. We're going to get real. We're going to get a bit deep. We're going to just hang out. There's very little structure. Like, these are the antidotes to loneliness. The only thing that anyone would need, like, to unlock their own anti-loneliness protocol beyond this would be just working on their own personal hangups, which of course we all have and we can all do. But then once you go inside your sweet little emotional self and you find and give yourself permission to open up and share and be seen and known, you will come to know and see and hopefully like yourself as well in the company of others. And that is the redemptive healing thing that us big brain simian, somewhere between a chimp and a bonobo, big brain monkey humans really, really thirst for and really crave. It's a huge topic. I absolutely love it. It's super relevant to today. And I'm very excited for a powerful episode with you, Ben.
I'm feeling much the same. Like, loneliness is such a huge topic, and there's a lot that we could unpack with it. But just even on a personal level, it's a feeling that I relate to quite strongly, and it's something that I know I've worked on in the past with you when we were working together. And it's something that I'm still working on to this day. Like, it's something that we are constantly, or I am constantly understanding and using strategies to help mitigate and work through. So
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited to totally go through this and discuss it with you.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's absolutely not going to be dry. It's not going to be clinical. It's not going to be all like psychological analysis. We're going to get real and talk about the real stuff about it, or
Yeah.
at least I am, but you're invited to as well. And I think we'll show people rather than tell them the nature of loneliness and the alternatives. Um, so that's things generally. I really feel
Yeah.
that everyone on the planet at the moment, 2025, could benefit from getting on top of their loneliness shit, because it might only be getting worse with technology and the different trends. Um, I have three personal stories that I just realized in our prep work. I don't slot them in anywhere, but they're titled "There's No Boyfriend for Me in Perth" story, my lonely gay kid abandoned inner self story, and working as a solopreneur, like work from home person now today as well. So there's like three big personal angles that we'll come back to that make me feel lonely today and have felt lonely in the past. So it's very personal, very real, very now. Um,
Definitely.
and last little tidbit before we dive in will be like, in coaching, I think I've mentioned this already, but I help people look for the reasons why they're remaining lonely in cycles. What is it that's coming up within us that gets in the way, to unearth anything and everything that is simply something within you blocking yourself from connection? Because everyone listening, I hope, will agree, there is abundantly fucking tons of connection because of digital technologies, because people live everywhere. We have Grindr, we have dating apps, we have Reddit, we have, online communities like school that I run. There are ways to find and connect with people that are like scarily powerful and immediately available. So there's sort of no excuse. And I mean that to myself primarily, but I want everyone listening to consider that as well. There's no excuse for staying lonely. There are reasons, and there are legitimate reasons, but I
Yeah.
don't want to hear people make excuses, because the world is full of people, and right now it's full of a lot of lonely people, a lot of people our age, a lot of gay people. We're quite lonely and isolated. Men in 2025 is emerging as a major isolated group. And we're a bit different to the average man in some key important ways, but ultimately that applies to us too. So yeah, if you can't tell that I'm excited for today, I hope we don't go too
No,
far over an hour, because we can talk people's ears off, but we'll see. It'll take as long as
I
it
love
takes,
it.
and as long as we have fun.
And I love the fact that you've brought up that technology as well. Like, it is incredibly powerful to forge those connections. And, you know, part of that I would love to, talk about and delve into your understanding and thinking around is the technology and forging deep and meaningful
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah. Well, first, Ben,
it's
you got to send me your dick pic and then I'll block you.
Oh, well, is that not the grinder handshake? That's how it all begins, isn't it?
A block really hurts after you send your dick pic, right?
It just cuts that little bit deeper, doesn't it?
Oof. Yep. Straighten my masculinity. Yes. Let's talk about all things, Ben, as they come up organically, energetically,
Yes.
Ben.
I love that.
We'll get there. We'll get there. There's plenty of time, my friend. And this is such a real, such a human, such a beautiful topic that every single person on this planet can relate to. Yeah. So, boys and girls, men and ladies, whatever you are, whoever you are, Brown Bear Radio is brought to you by me, Ed Wilson, and Ben C, my co-host. We exist on a place called Brown Bear School. You can find us by searching school with a K, not a ch, so that's SKOOL, Brown Bear School. It's $5 a month, so that only serious people join. We are building community. There are workshops, there are courses. I provide my group coaching through there, and I'm Ed at Brown Bear Coaching. You can find me on Instagram. Please do follow, comment, like, share, repost. I am trying to heal the world one gay at a time. End of ad. Thank you. Ben, let's get personal. Should we get personal?
Let's do it.
So I was wondering if you would like to explore. I have a quote here from someone whose book called Lost Connections I really, really, really enjoyed. It's about depression and anxiety, and this guy Johann Hari's personal experience of taking antidepressants and medication and doing the traditional route for like 20 years and that roller coaster journey. It was very lovely to witness it. A huge takeaway from his book is that connection, the opposite of loneliness, really, is extremely healing and went, most of the way to helping him not feel depressed or anxious anymore. And so he wrote a whole book about it, Lost Connections. I think it's brilliant. And a lot of people feel very good about it. Very quick nutshell, the drugs. Okay, I'm not a doctor. This is not advice. This is just an exploration of the book's exploration that I tend to agree with. The drugs can change the way you feel, but that doesn't address your deeply human need for connection, an authentic connection, which means meaningful connection, which means true, honest self feeling safe, seen, heard, connected, shared together with multiple other people who create a safe space for you to be you and appreciate you exactly as you are. Can you imagine having not enough of that and that would cause you anxiety and depression?
Oh, yeah.
Right. I don't have to imagine it. I've lived it. And I imagine you have too. I imagine everyone who's listening has as well, right? So
definitely in some way, shape or form.
Yeah. So Johann Hari's quote that I love and I share with people is, loneliness isn't the physical absence of other people. It's the sense that you're not sharing anything that matters with anyone else.
I love that. And just like hearing that quote and like reading it as you were going through it, like for me, what resonated with me is like the not sharing anything that matters, but it's also that not sharing yourself is what hit for me.
Yeah.
That feeling of loneliness where you're not actually sharing like who Ben is.
Yep.
Can cause that feeling of loneliness. And that's what triggered in me straight away as soon as you read that. It's like not necessarily the not sharing anything that matters, but like, well, what matters more than your true self and not sharing it, and that self-editing that a lot of us tend to do.
Yeah, so a lot of performance, a lot of wearing masks. It's going to be absolutely unavoidable in this episode that we approach two things at once, and I hope we give them the time and attention they deserve. I said it once, I'll say it again for clarity. The opposite of loneliness and the performance of that, we will demonstrate it through our stories and sharing in this episode. But the other half is, how can you share yourself if you don't know yourself? How can you express yourself if you can't find your emotions? A lot of the guys that come to me, I don't want to paint the wrong picture here. It's not like extreme, but to some extent they feel like they don't really know themselves, or they feel or they think as if they don't even like or love themselves. And that's a good starting point for a lot of my clients. And that may be because as gay people, queer people, we have been shunned and rejected from a very early
Yeah.
age in very serious emotional terms. And that can make us feel very afraid to be who we are, express who we are, and have our true feelings, thoughts, and our inner world known, seen, and exposed to other people. We can have very high defense mechanisms. We can feel like we don't know ourselves, feel like we don't love ourselves. And I would argue, and my book, A Gay Man, the Illustrated Storybook, is there to help people have this experience and relive it. Hopefully it makes you cry. In terms of realizing maybe this has happened to all of us queers, and that doesn't have to be a big drama. We don't have to say,
No.
oh, we're damaged goods. I mean, everyone receives damage. But the opportunity to realize these factors and work with them and explore them to find ourselves, express ourselves, and share ourselves. You cannot undo loneliness without also doing that work. So that's why there's two parts here. People could feel lonely within themselves because they feel lost. They don't even know where their true self is to find. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That's it.
And you're the
No,
perfect person to
100%.
ask. Sorry to talk over you, but you're the perfect person to ask. We did some of this work together.
Oh, I was literally just about to say that. Like, I know
Right.
in the sessions that we covered together, like, that was the starting point. And I remember, you would be asking me questions, and I would just be sitting there going, well, I don't actually know what Ben likes. I know what Ben should,
Yes.
or, to be accepted in this circle or that circle should like, but what does Ben and that performative mask and those behaviors that we engage in? And, we worked very hard on breaking it down and going,
Mm.
What is actually Ben at the core? And because I was, having those feelings of loneliness and, being able to be in a crowded room and not actually feel like I'm around anyone.
Yeah. Yep. Not sharing anything that actually matters to you with anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. To what extent do you feel like these days you're better at like feeling your truth, knowing your truth, feeling it in your body, being connected to yourself? What if you're tired? What if you're sad? What if you're lonely? What if you're frustrated? What if you're lovesick? Like, do you feel those things now? Does it give you a compass? Do you feel like you know who Ben is? How's it going?
Oh, so that's actually a really good question. So I feel like it's still very much a journey for me that I'm on. And that sounds a little bit wanky, but for me, that's the truth. I'm still learning about me, and I still have my moments of loneliness, and I still have my lovesick and if I'm so good, why am I still single? As I put my hand on my forehead. Listeners, you can't see that, but quite dramatic that I am. I am learning though that, to be in the moment, take the breath, and I'm very much believing in the fact that if I'm Ben and my true authentic Ben, that is the bright and the bubbly and will attract the people that should be there and around me, and it will happen. So
Just leading into trusting that.
yeah, like learning to trust that and not, feel like I'm too much or, something like that, and taking that mask down where I would, in social situations present in a certain way to be more liked or whatever.
Yep.
So
This
learning.
I don't know if this will surprise you or not, but me too. Um,
Really?
yeah. So just this morning, I'm doing some more self-development coaching work, and part of that is you get free coaching and you meet people and you meet other coaches. And I was talking to this lady about my marketing, and lo and behold, very quickly it becomes very personal. And I realized I'm emotionally upset about feeling dumb and insecure about my creativity skills, my art skills, my like production quality.
Hmm.
So when it comes to marketing, I have all these hangups, and I was amazed by how like tight my chest was and how emotional I was getting, and how like this unhappy, wounded child inside of me was coming up around marketing. And I
Wow.
do actively fear still being seen in certain ways. And these are my biases and my hangups showing up. And these are the things that I don't bring up in conversation easily, or I don't share publicly. And while you know this, Ben, like there's several people in my life, you may be one of them actually, that I've shared my darkest, most difficult secrets with, and they're big and they're heavy in some ways, and then they're just human stories in another way. But I still have these things that I'm internally a bit ashamed about, and I haven't shared them, and I don't celebrate them, and I don't show up with them easily. Like specifically, being childish and playful and fun and silly, I'm experiencing this, like that is a huge part of my core, right? And also
Yeah.
like literally my sexuality. I love to express myself and play and share and laugh and joke about sexual stuff. You'll have noticed how often in my coaching I bring up sexual metaphors or analogies, or I get people
Yeah.
to feel their own body or arousal in regards to like feeling their emotions or exploring the acceptability of the universe. Just like it really is that big, and we do that. But I choose sexual stuff because I love expressing myself that way. But do I let that stuff come through in the way that I present myself on, say, Instagram in particular, and in my videos and in the content that I share and the stories that I tell? No, I don't. And I was amazed just this morning that this helpful, friendly coach that didn't know me from a bar of soap yesterday was just asking questions in the way that coaches do. I was like, oh shit, like, I'm scared. I'm hung up. This goes all the way back to when I was 7 and I was upset about I couldn't cut and paste properly. I couldn't draw in the same direction to make it look nice. And I'm very hung up and insecure that I don't create things that look nice. I'm not good at design, colors, presentation. I'm sloppy. I'm slapdash. People are going to see that. People are going to devalue me. My business isn't going to work. I'm going to run out of money. I'm going to die. And suddenly I'm catastrophizing, just like every other human does.
Yes.
So yeah,
and it all started because when you were 7, you couldn't draw a tree the way the teacher wanted you to.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing how, when we do, reflect on those things, how we can kind of like pinpoint that moment where it's like, that's where it starts or stems from.
Yeah. Well, there's that particular class, and then I cried about it to my mum, and then multiple other art things would come up, and my year 3 teacher as well. So it was multiple years of primary school. And then I just decided, like, art is not for me, man. And then I told that story in my head. So then I avoided art. So guess what I didn't get good at?
Yeah,
art.
That's it. It's amazing. Like when you tell yourself you're not good at something, how quickly and easily we believe those, repetitive thoughts. And I feel like, for me, sometimes that element of loneliness stems from that repetitive thought process as well.
Yep.
Like, I'm not good enough to hang out with those people, or I'm not cool enough to go to the club, or I'm not, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not what's expected or needed in that space. And therefore, I can't go there, or I shouldn't go there. And when you start to believe those things, how quickly you start to doubt yourself and then not do those things.
Yep. The person rejecting you is you, and that's me too.
Yes.
Yeah. There might literally be people rejecting you, but actually we're all intelligent adults. We can handle that. We can realize if someone wants to attack me, that's their fucking business. So I don't spend too long thinking, oh, the gays are mean, the gays are catty. Like that's just a victimhood complex cycle. Like don't worry about that. It's you that's rejecting you. If you don't want to show up, if you think no one likes you, you're not trying, you're not testing that hypothesis, because you don't feel really safe and secure actually sharing your actual shit, and that's what's keeping you blocked, and that's what's making you lonely.
That's exactly right.
All right, let's wrap up these couple more things before we get into the next bit. I have a quick story. There's no boyfriend for me in Perth, so I was feeling gay lonely as a teenager, and I've shared before my first gay club experience. It was actually the second, it turns out. And this guy goes, you know, this is a gay bar, right? And I was like, oh, fuck you. So around that time, I was in Perth, and I was like, Perth, city of 1.2 whatever million people. If you divide that by male, female, that's, 48% male. And then males in an age group I'd like to date. So that's like, what, 15% of all of those males. And then that one has to be gay. So that's like 2 to 4% is what I thought at the time. We now know it's closer maybe to 8 or 10%. especially bi guys, the great sleeping category.
Definitely.
And what I mean by that is they're beginning to come out now. And
Yes.
I look forward to seeing many, many more of them. So I feel way less alone. I'm not bi, but yeah. And I was like, I've met hundreds of gay dudes at this point. I like maybe 1 in 100, maybe less. Like that is a potential boyfriend for me. So I ran all the numbers. There's no boyfriends in Perth. It was mathematically impossible.
Wow.
I went on several great dates with a connection. I won't name anybody. That were awesome. But ultimately, he didn't feel like I was the right choice for him, and he was seeing somebody else as well. So that didn't work out. And then I dated a couple of other dudes that admittedly were not a fit. My first boyfriend, Michael, was a wonderful relationship for the time that I had him, and I'll be forever thankful, and I've told him that. But ultimately, I felt that we weren't a match. And then Alex, who I've been with for 12 years now, he lived a 25-minute walk from my house. Like, we swam at the same pool, and we met at the pool. Yeah. And I just gently hit on him eventually. I don't know if I've shared this story, but I saw him in the change room showers first, and I was like, "Ooh, he's good looking," because it was a gang shower, blessed gang showers. And he didn't have any soap. I was like, "Hey, you want to borrow my soap? I see you don't have any." He was like, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Do you have a British accent slightly?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, my parents are English, but I was born here." I was like, "Oh, me too." And so we just started chatting, and it was very polite. And then a couple of weeks later, we were swimming, and I said, "Hey, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but are you maybe gay?" And he said, "No, sorry." And then it was another several weeks, and I was also a lifeguard there at the pool, so I'd see him pretty often, say hi. And then eventually he hung around, waited for me after he got dressed in the change rooms and said, "Oh, you remember that question?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, what if I change my mind?" And I was like, "Oh my God, do we need to get coffee and talk about this?" And he was like, "Yeah, that'd be
Wow.
great." And yeah, that night we made amateur sweet love, and Nelson Mandela died. That is our anniversary, smangiversary as we call it. We're still not married. We are engaged technically.
Love that.
Thank you. Yeah, 12 years. And he was in the same city. And just like these stories that we tell ourselves are the primary culprit for keeping ourselves isolated. And then I'd say another primary, but I guess it has to be secondary, is like our deeper sense of emotional comfort with being seen and known by other people. This is dope work for the gays, in my opinion. Look at RuPaul's Drag Race. Look at them struggle through it on fucking TV. They get recorded being inauthentic. Then they get called out on it. And then RuPaul's like, "Dance your dance, baby. You got to live your truth. You got to follow the vibe and the energy." And like half of them are like, "Yeah, amen." And then half of them are like, "What the fuck? I'm so in my head." And you get to see it live. Like, this is us. This is our story. This is almost every gay knows exactly what this is. And it's a lot. It may be never ending, but I think that's part of the human condition, right? This isn't just a gay thing. It's an everyone thing, but it's a big thing for us.
Yeah, I think that's incredibly true, that it's not just a gay thing. It's an everybody thing, but I think for people that identify as gay, it is very much, it can be felt in a stronger manner. There's some deep-seated stuff there that needs to be worked on at times to help work your way through it.
Yeah. Well, this is the final wrap up before the other two questions. Great structure, guys. Is the lonely gay kid, am I abandoned in herself? Like, so yeah, this is a thing for us gays because we had a choice between authenticity and to risk harm or rejection or othering or bullying. And a lot of us, so some of us couldn't pretend or chose not to. And as soon as they knew they were gay, they came out, but they're massively the exception. So I always say to my clients, like, when did you know you were gay and when did you come out? And then they go, here and then. And I go, okay, why was there a gap? Shame. Shame is the fucking reason. Not because you didn't like yourself, because you understood being yourself was dangerous. Being yourself was not encouraged. Your feelings were not the quote unquote right feelings. And from that moment, before we even know we're gay, we're beginning to prepare to abandon, suppress, put away, ignore ourselves.
Find the mask that makes you feel safe.
Yeah, we had to become a version of ourselves that was palatable, appropriate, acceptable, or desirable to other people. And some of us are still doing it. A lot of us are still doing it. But actually, I don't know if that's true. I don't want to tell dark stories like that. I'm going to say a lot of us are still doing it for very understandable reasons.
Yes.
you know, I'm a fucking life coach and I've been working with hundreds of gay men in thousands of hours of coaching, which is deeply personal. I'm still doing it.
Exactly. Yeah. And when I think, yeah, it's something that you're always going to be working on and refining.
Yeah. And we get to enjoy the process. Discovering who
Yeah.
you are every day is fucking fun. Sharing who you are every day is fucking fun. It creates
Exactly.
friends. It creates moments. It might even create a podcast.
Who knows?
All right, cool. Okay, last one. Promise. No, I don't promise. There's multiple things to talk about today. I work solo now, right? And if anyone's not being their full selves at work, you know how at work they're like, bring your whole self to work. And I tell people,
Oh, yeah.
look, if I did that, I'd tell you that new fucking hottie at the counter, Darren, is extremely rootable. But you can't say that at work, can you?
No, you cannot. No,
Right,
I
for
do
good
believe
reasons.
HR frowns upon that.
They do. In fact, rootable is a word that isn't even like that's in a glossary of terms that are unmentionable.
Yes.
I think in a little black book of HR terms, the unmentionables, rootable. So yeah, I work. So they don't really mean bring your whole self to work. They mean, you know, share yourself more, be more open, be more yourself, but don't bring everything. So if that resonates with you, dear listener, I think the general gist here is very nice. They want you to be more you at work. If you feel you can't be you at work, and that's like 8 hours out of 5 days of your week or more, then when you get home, do you spend time alone or with just like one person? Are you really expressing yourself and being seen, heard, and known to a bunch of people? Probably not. So it's not just me, right? I literally am alone a lot of the day because of my work, even though I have digital connections. It's a very real thing for a very great amount of us. I just wanted to bring a big highlight to that. And maybe we will all feel tremendously calmer, safer, more connected, we'll sleep better, our nervous systems will chill out more, we'll have less active minds when we feel better, safer, more connected because we actively get more connected. I'm very, very interested in creating community, whether that's digital or real life. I live remotely now, so digital is my preference, and we're gay, and there's a lot about that I think is really important. So that's easier digital as well. So yeah, we're just walking this tightrope together. I just really wanted to highlight that for everybody.
No, I love that. Definitely.
Cool.
And it's, you know, because I know in my work life, I'm also very much a solo operator, a lone wolf, if you will.
Yeah.
But I find that that performative mask, you know, yes, I'm allowed to bring, you know, my whole self to work and be Ben and everything, but there is a point where you've got to be, you know, present that professional, you know, version of me, and that, you know, mask will come down and we'll have the conversations, we do the thing, I move on, meet the next person, have the conversation, do the thing. And you're right. And then when I come home, okay, there's not always someone here at home. So I can, you know, sometimes the only person I might see other than a work person is the barista that knows my name.
Yep.
You know, so, you know, who gets my order right every morning. Hashtag love that.
Shout out to.
Yeah, shout out to my barista.
Do you know their name?
No, I don't.
You're gonna have to say hello, man.
Horrible person.
You're gonna have to say, hello, barista. Can I just mention you always get my order right, and I really appreciate you. What is your name?
That's it. I'm gonna have to do that.
Do it.
That is on the to-do list for tomorrow, and I will
Let's do
send
it.
you a message.
Yep.
With their name.
Good boy.
But it is something, you know, very true though. What you said is that, you know, you can come home and like, or if I've spent, you know, a couple of days in the office, you know, and even in the office, it's, you know, I might be working alone in the office because everyone works out and around. It's, you know, I can sometimes go 2 or 3 days without seeing anyone.
Yep.
You know, come home and there's no one there. And if I'm not interacting
Yep.
with people, like,
Yep.
you know, it's,
Yep.
yeah, it's, you just
It gets worse, gets bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
your deep simian brain is just like alert, alert, not connected, no tribe, no
Yes.
society, no protection. Bzz, bzz.
that's it. It doesn't like it. And it also is what kickstarts those spirals as well. like, and then potentially, turning to,
Soothing.
well, we've all done it. We turn to apps to find loose connection to, cure, in inverted commas, or reduce some of that loneliness.
Yep. Perfect
So,
segue, Ben. Have
gonna
you
try.
Oh, you well done. Have you ever turned to Grinder, Sex, or the gays to release some of your loneliness? How did that go? Do you have any embarrassing stories that are fun?
Well, look, I think, look, we all have needs, and I've definitely no different to anyone else, and I've used apps for that quick shot of company.
Mm-hmm.
But for
And
me
that quick shot of
personally,
milk.
well, yeah, something else.
Yeah.
But for me, it's so surface level, and like, I don't know about yourself, Ed, but for me, and potentially for some other listeners, I always get the ick, as the youth say these days. I'm trying out some of their words.
Mm.
Um, I feel the ick, and I just notice that sometimes, not sometimes, most of the time, I'm sadder after the experience because
Oh.
it's not authentic for me.
Yeah, you're still having
It's
shallow sex.
So it's not that real connection. And so for me, I'm learning that when I'm feeling those things of loneliness, I'm actually trying to, rather than get into the thought spiral of, there's no boyfriend for me, I'm going to die alone, it's, horrible and everything is shit, and, I'm learning to funnel the energy and get off the apps, get off the Facebooks and the Instagrams and the doom scrolling, and I'm funneling that energy into something that is creative, that I enjoy, and that actually makes me feel good, and that I'm achieving something. So for me, currently, that has been crochet, or as I like to call it, brochet.
Brochet.
Thanks to a artist, Steve B, whose name I cannot pronounce for the love of me. He's on
Puts the
Instagram.
B. Puts the B in brochet.
He puts the B in brochet. He certainly does, but he does all this really cool, nerdy stuff. I've done helmets, shields, swords, wizard staffs. If it can be crocheted and made of yarn, I have done it. And I'm finding for me that, I'm finding
Better than
community
sex.
and connection sharing that stuff with people. And it's using that energy and that anxiety that I'm feeling for me in a creative way. So unfortunately, I have no, embarrassing sex story to share. But for me, that's my real experience around using those apps.
Yep. Fair enough. There were several things there. Wonderful. Fuck yeah. I'm really happy for you that you found a non-screen based hobby and activity that feels enjoyable, rewarding. It's a skill you can grow. Do you do it with other people, or do you just share your creations and talk?
I share my creations online with friends and family. If they are followers of mine, they will see it. I have also gone to a couple of little crochet events with friends. There's actually a craft movie night that occurs, once a month, where they put on a fabulous movie like Mean Girls. The lights are up and everyone sits there either knitting, crocheting, cross stitch, whatever they want to do, coloring in a big cinema, and they do that.
Wow. That's awesome.
I know. I had a friend message me about it, and I'm like, this is legitimately mind-blowing. And I don't think it's an Aussie-only thing. It happens all over. So, like, for our listeners who are, like, in the US and the UK, check it out. Like, those things do exist. If it's something that, floats your goat, I would give it a try.
That's awesome. I'm really happy for you. Sometimes I feel that I wish I could find a non-screen based hobby, but I love my computer games and competitive gaming and stuff. So I find myself falling back on that with my spare time. I would like to go back to the shallow sex.
Yes, you can.
This is extremely. This gets talked about a lot. Do you think we have much to add in this department? Like, can I just ask you personally?
Yeah, go for it.
Why don't you just? I mean, are you just used to having shallow sex? Because one approach that I like is, I make sure when I chat to the person, I'm like, hey man, are you into these things at all? Because that really is what I want. And for me, okay, that is personal, but let it be known that that is saucy and personal. And it's kind of a fun, expressive. It's a vulnerable. Let's just call it role play, thing. And I basically, when I'm on Grindr, because I have a partner, I like to play that way with other guys, but it's deeply personal and it's very interconnective. So there's no like blow and go. I never, ever, ever do that. The closest I get to that, oh God, I share everything, is sometimes at the nudist beach. I'm like, hey man, do you like penises? And if the guy says yes, I'd be like,
Yeah.
cool, me too. Do you want to like watch me do things? That may have happened or may not have, depending if you're the police or not. But assuming you're not,
God,
it did.
Edward.
What?
Oh, Edward.
What? Is that too much?
No, if you're happy to share that, that's more than okay. Well, for me, I've learnt to be better at being communicative on the apps as to what
I really
I'm
want.
looking for, what I find enjoyable, what is my preference, and things like that. I find that for me personally, for me to enjoy it, I need to have connection.
Yeah, but you've been
That's it.
saying how you're not getting it.
Well,
You're avoiding it because you can't.
I avoid
you're
it.
not
I
managing to
avoid
get
it because I have a preconceived idea in my head that I'm going to be rejected. So what's the point in trying?
Oh, very good, very good.
So rather than go through the preconceived and self-fulfilling prophecy of, see, I got rejected, therefore what's the point in trying?
Mm.
I had then put that energy and that anxiety into something that I am finding way more enjoyable. Now, do I feel lonely at times? Yes. Am I still wanting that connection with others? Yes.
Yeah,
that
like sex
would
still
be-
happens, right? You're still looking for
Yeah.
sex.
That's it.
So when
But-
you do,
Yeah.
are you just not asking for what you want? Are you accepting like blow and goes, like, or whatever? Is that just
No,
what you need
not-
sometimes?
Previous Ben, that was a part of what would happen. But no, current Ben, no, that's not what I'm accepting and not what I'm looking for.
Huh, okay. And so have you had some more connective, even, so Dan Savage talks about highly successful short-term relationships, which can be as short as 10 minutes. I've had a lot of those. I just want to put it out there. Like, a connection and intimacy can happen through the gentle touch of a shoulder or some like appropriate eye contact or a smile or a wink. But like just doing carnal flesh, physical stuff, then leaving is the opposite of that. So I'm saying,
Yeah.
have you achieved some more, like even if it's a short-term relationship or a very, very,
Oh,
very, an ultra short-term relationship?
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, so cool. So
Ultra
you are
short-term
getting it.
relationship. Yeah.
You are
Yeah,
getting,
I
like,
am.
you have that man connection with somebody. You're like, yeah,
Yes.
sex.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In that
Connection.
regard, yes,
Oh,
I do
good.
have that.
Fabulous.
I definitely have that. But like in terms of like what the app was quote unquote designed for, less so. But I am more I have enjoyed that short term. I like how you phrase that short term,
Short-term
connective
relationship.
relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you can have a guy around for an hour and get to know him a little bit. I mean, you're probably
Yeah.
going to get to know his body and his sexual preferences and personality, and maybe his like current
Yes,
or past
definitely.
partners or preferences. Like that stuff is so easy to bring it up. Well, I shouldn't presume. For some people, it's not easy, but it's so easy to begin to start to try. Just show an interest. Like, oh, what do you really like? How do you like this? This topic is just, I feel like it's beaten over the head all the time amongst the gays. We have shallow sex. Yeah, it's because we're afraid of opening up and revealing ourselves. And so we don't ask other people,
Yes.
perhaps in the fear that they're going to ask us and we don't know the answer. Well,
Yes.
do your work, my beautiful people. Do your work, and then you'll feel so much more connected to yourself. Yeah, there's a lot I could say about all of that. But I'm really glad to hear, Ben, that you are asking for you are sort of demanding in an appropriate way a certain level of connection to have any sex at all. I don't have I don't always know their names, but like I don't have anonymous
Yeah.
Is that the definition?
No.
I don't have disconnected sex with people. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
that
it's
that story at the beach. Like, I chatted to that guy for 15 minutes before I said, I didn't even know if he was gay or straight or bi or what, but I was like, do you like men at all? He was like, oh yeah, maybe a little bit. I was like, okay, that's not a no. Do you want to do this? And he was like, yeah. I was like, great. So
That's
do you know what I mean? There's connection there.
Yeah.
There's
that's it. Yeah, you're right. It is. There is connection there. And like when you phrase it like that, well, yes. So in terms of short term, yes, there is that connection, but that
right.
instantaneous,
Just no boyfriend at the moment.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
So,
I was
okay.
particularly interested in that, so thank you for sharing, because I just think connective and successful short-term relationships are at everybody's fingertips. We just need to do a bit of our own work and start to practice opening up and being real.
Yes.
It's not
Very
easy.
much so.
It's not easy.
No. Oh, it's
But dude, do you know
not
how
easy.
good a 90-minute successful short-term relationship can feel? You could be on cloud nine for days. And it's the intimacy, the connection, the being seen, the being wanted, the being like respected.
Yes.
Like, it's deeply, deeply, deeply nourishing. Like, we need that shit.
It's almost in like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, it's almost quite healing as well
It is.
to
100%.
have that feeling.
Big time. I sort of avoid the H word generally too,
Yes.
because it starts to sound like crystals and dragons a bit. But no, that is one area that it deeply, deeply matters, because you know that abandoned inner gay child, like, he's an adult and I'm an adult.
Yes.
And when I get hugged or held or seen or winked at or received or respected or enjoyed in the way that makes him feel seen, understood, known, shared, belonging, and safe, that's fucking healing.
Yes.
That's the thing that I denied myself through external factors, but ultimately I denied myself. You know, when I was 12, I didn't tell my friend Andrew or whatever, I really like you and I wish when I slept over your house I was in your bed and we could hug. But why couldn't there be a universe in which 12-year-old boys hug and genuinely have affection? It's because we get shamed and told not to.
Yeah. Exactly.
But what's wrong with that? Nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. And it might have been really nice. And even if they were straight, they, like, you hear these stories, sorry, quick tangent, you know, like in societies or places or times where like the gays don't exist because we don't talk about it. And they're really, really homoerotic. Like, they hold hands, they swim naked together, they shower and bathe together. I've got this whole military book on buddies. And because you weren't allowed to be gay and it never came up, there was sort of this safety that we're all men and it's okay. So there's no fear here. But then we get a little bit woke and then we get this gay panic. And so now everyone has to police each other, and you get this hyper masculine, misogynistic, homophobic environments, which, you know, as 80s and 90s kids, we I think are very familiar with. But before that, it was actually really sweet, and men could just hug and hold hands and be like besties in a kind of supportive way. If you read old literature, the way they, maybe this is a classist thing, I don't know, but like very loving, romantic-y kind of like intimate language between men. You know, my dear friend. And it wasn't just the closeted gay ones, I don't think. It was
No.
a lot of
It was
men.
just standard.
And straight men are so stifled by this as well, because they have gay panic and they're not even fucking gay.
That's yeah.
It just disconnects us all, and it sucks. So that's why that's relevant.
And it does. And it is incredibly disconnecting when you, like, you know, are doing that self-editing and, you know, that monitoring of each other to, you know, making sure I'm not, you know, doing something that could be conceived as, you know, wrong or shameful.
Yeah. Yep.
Instead of just, you know, being like, you know, that's Ben. He loves a hug. He will hug you. Just lean into it. Which is, you know,
or, you know, ask
my
permission.
friends. Oh no, my friends always like, this is Ben. Ben is a hugger. Ben is probably going to ask to give you a hug. Like, that is how I, like, some of my friends will introduce me.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. And my friends, like, they know, like, you know, my good friends are always like, you know, it's when we say hello, it's a hug.
Yeah.
When we leave, it's a hug.
Yeah.
Like, it's very much like that. And for me, that's, you know, something that really does forge connection.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that physical contact.
Are gays huggers? Because the Queer Eye crew are like obsessed huggers.
Look, I feel like that some of us are not. But like, one of my favorite observations that I have made, which is hilarious, is like, um, some of the time when I will hug a straight man, their pelvis couldn't be any further away from me
No, yeah.
if they tried, which I find hilarious now
Just
because
tell
I
him.
just
Just
kind of go, can you make a 90-degree with your body if you try? Which is hilarious. But then, like, there
yeah,
are others that,
yeah.
are just like, bam, it's a hug,
Nice.
it's all good. But yeah, I do. One of my friends pointed it out once and they went, man, have you ever noticed this? And I went, no. But then as soon as they said it, I'm like, that's all I notice now.
Mm.
It's like, the how far away it is. So it's
Mm.
yeah, quite interesting.
Yeah. Maybe one of your life goals can be to have an accidental pelvis touch with a straight man that really feels very comfortable around you.
Well, one day
One day.
that may happen.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It doesn't
Dear
have to be
listeners,
frontal
if it does
pelvis.
occur, I
I'm-
will let you know when that occurs.
I'm thinking slightly off-center pelvis, like a thigh
yes.
touch. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Otherwise, that's a wee bit too much for them. We don't want to scare them off.
And then you're getting into
So-
really dangerous territory, just like touching tips with your bro, like through your shorts.
no.
You know.
Oh,
there are
goodness
some
gracious me, no.
there are some very funny Instagram accounts that I follow that are absolutely pushing the envelope on that funny. Is it gay? Is it straight? It's gay if you don't do it. Like kind of.
I
Anyway.
have seen some of those. I do know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, they're hilarious. Just pushing buttons, pushing us on our sensitive, shame, sensitive buttons. Cool. I feel I've shared lots that I wanted to share. What have we not done with you yet? I see one here about you had a very real experience at big events.
Oh, look, I just sometimes I can feel lonely when I'm around people.
Yep.
So, the thing I have is I'm learning now I cannot remember where I read or heard this, but it's an analogy that I love. And it's those different layers and levels of friendship. And so, like, there's your porch friends, your living room friends, and then your like front yard friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finding that I experience loneliness when I'm surrounded by people who are my porch friends or my front veranda friends.
Yeah.
They're there on the periphery. They're an acquaintance. They know Ben, but do they really, quote unquote, know Ben?
Yeah.
No.
Or does
they don't,
Ben feel very safe around these people?
Look, Ben does. Ben feels very safe around them.
Are you sure?
And safe enough to let them on my porch. They're not in my front yard.
Exactly. So not safe enough to let them in your house.
Yeah. But then I have my friends that are my living room friends. And so, there was a couple of weekends ago where I was having this like lonely feeling of like, I go to these events, I'm surrounded by people, but I'm not feeling connected. Like I'm not, like I still kind of felt alone while there. And I was able to talk about it with one of my living room friends and, discussed it, talked about it, made plans to be like, okay, well, what can we do? What's something that we can go to together where, or something that you can do that makes you feel like you're going to do something where you're connected. And went from there. And then, deviated, had a laugh, broke the cyclic thought and that's thought spiral and, was able to do that. And so I'm very much learning to reach out to those living room friends. I'm very much, it's very much, I find for me, where I will get into that spiral of loneliness and feel alone, even though I know I have people I can reach out to. It's really tricky to make that first step and go, oh, well, if they really like me, they know that I need help and they should talk to me or something. Like, do you know what I mean? It's easy to get into that thought pattern.
The preemptive thought spiral that says, I'm about to have a thought spiral, and that's because I'm a loser.
Yes.
Wow.
I love, it's, look, my thought spirals have thought spirals.
Yes.
And when those thought spirals have thought spirals have thought spirals,
Illuminating.
that's where epicness truly occurs.
Ben, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
So, I know, right?
I can't imagine how many people were just like, shit, me too.
yeah, everyone's like, oh my gosh.
Holy shit, someone else has that? No fucking way. I was never going to tell anyone.
But it's very much what I'm finding is
Yeah. Good job.
having the ability to identify. Like I've
Yes.
identified those
Yes. This
people
is
that
the
are my
skill.
living room friends,
Yes.
and
Very aware.
basically, essentially, they're my ride or dies.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
and I'll tell them if I'm struggling, and they're like, "Right, Ben, I'm there. We're gonna do something."
That's
And
lovely.
it's so nice to know that
Yep.
I have them. And again, it's, you know, rejuvenating, because we're not going to use the H word. It's rejuvenating for that little kid Ben who felt like they didn't necessarily have those people to back
Yeah.
them up
Yeah.
when they were growing up.
Yep. It's awesome that you do have these people, Ben. Would you call them emotionally available?
Oh gosh, yes, they are
Yeah.
so emotionally available.
Yeah, it's nice. My besties, sorry, I'm going to tell you a me story now, quickly. My besties are just like straight dudes from high school, and I love them. I love them. They are my besties, and they are my living room people. But they're often not that. Well, actually, if you try, they're there. But often we do
Yeah.
this whole like, let's take the shit out of each other and talk absolute garbage for fun, but
And
not
you know
super
what?
emotionally available. Yeah. What?
We all have those friendships, and I feel like I saw something just recently. It's people who grew up in, the 90s, where we will just shit talk with our friends and, like, pay each other out, but it's out of love.
Yeah.
And you know that, like, they're your true people, where they will just pay you out about stuff.
Yes.
And but yeah, and I noticed that particularly with my straight friends, is like, yeah, they'll pay you out, and
Yeah. The more shit they give you, the closer you feel.
that's it. The closer you are with them. And that's how you know that, they would drop everything and probably drop someone if they needed to protect you, kind of
Yeah.
thing, which
Yeah.
is great to have.
Yep. Yeah. Shall we wrap that up by saying, well, the bit I wanted to say was that's awesomely self-aware of you and good job. It sounds like you're aware of like how deep and safe you feel with different people. So if someone listening out there wants to progress their friends closer, then yeah, look to your periphery and bring them in closer. Look to your closest people and
Yes.
ask, do I reach out to them when I really want to? So the other key thing I wanted to say was go brain go. You know how you're getting these lonely feelings? You
Yes.
don't have to interpret that as, oh, something's wrong again, or I haven't done enough, or this is a part of my lonely life. Do you know what I mean? That might be like an unconscious kind of thought or interpretation that you're experiencing. What about you're not lonely until you realize you are? And then at that
Yeah.
point, you are taking action. So what's the
That's it. It's,
problem? There isn't
acknowledging.
one.
Yeah.
Don't tell a story that, oh, because I feel lonely sometimes, I'm a lonely person. Like, don't do anything like that if you can help it. Like, sounds like you take action when you're lonely, and you get lonely because you're human. And today we live in, single dude apartments. Like, that's lonely.
That is. Yeah, exactly.
It's lonely creation, the way we think the nuclear family and everything is set up. Yeah. Any final points for you?
No, I think you literally covered that brilliantly.
Nice. I think we covered it brilliantly. I think we did. I mean, we shared a whole lot. We're demonstrating connection, Ben.
We certainly are. I feel connected, Ed.
I do. I love you, Ben. I really enjoy your company.
Love you too, Ed.
The other delightful thing is that I could easily name 10 dudes, and I'm not good at remembering people's names, from, Brown Bear Coaching and Brown Bear School, that I have told them that I love them and I love their company, and they've told me the same in return. And it is such a delight to be able to say that and to have experienced that with so many dudes that previously would have totally understood all of these like self-isolating thoughts, feelings, experiences, self-rejecting stories, self-rejecting patterns, and these antisocial qualities that we have that are kind of unavoidable. Hashtag blessed, just being hashtag grateful, and hashtag yay. So let's move on. Bear bites. So I've got 3 points I just want to share that are relevant happening in Brown Bear School. Making friends as adults is a workshop that we did maybe 2 weeks ago. I felt it went very, very well. It was lovely that everyone turned up. There was 6 of us live, I think. So if you join us at
Oh,
Brown Bear
awesome.
School, yep, for just $5 a month, you can have a listen to that workshop and all of the others. We're also arranging to have our very first like Brown Bear unofficially official meetup
Ooh.
at Sydney Mardi Gras this coming year. So it's end of February 2026. So we're going to have a meetup. We're going to do stuff in person. Some Americans are coming. Some Australians are congregating from around the country. It's very, very, very excited. And I'm super pleased and proud to be able to do that with people. And I also want to highlight that because we do weekly group classes as part of the offering, the coaching offering, there are 2 Aussies in particular that are making really good friends, and it's really delightful and funny to watch them.
Aw.
One of them in particular is a lifelong, very lonely, very isolated guy, and we're making leaps and bounds forward. I won't name him, but he will probably know who he is, and those guys will know who I'm talking about. But it is gorgeous to connect with them. Same thing. We're going to tell each other, I think we already have, that we love each other. And watching them connect and bond through their shared coaching experience is also really beautiful. Lately, there's been a couple of Americans who are low on friends. One's a newly out guy, and he's just having a roller coaster ride because being newly out in your 50s and 60s is a very big deal.
That's a huge deal, definitely.
Yeah, but they now get to meet and talk to each other on top of everything else that's going on. And that is
It's
really,
awesome.
really, really lovely. Yeah, it's I so pleased, so proud to be able to help people make these connections, even if they're pretty casual or if they're just for a season. They could be highly successful medium-term relationships. Maybe they will turn into friends. I actually have clients from years ago that, they became clients separately, but then they got engaged. They've disavowed me from taking credit, which is fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
But they're
It's fine.
engaged, and so I consider that a win, and I'm happy for them. That's great.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it turns out community doesn't happen.
Unless you make it.
Yeah, you got to make it happen. So we can all take active steps to improve these things for ourselves. Ben, cool gay shit.
Yes, Ed.
This is not
Well,
it's never related to the topic, but hit us. What's your cool gay shit for this week?
no. So we've had the deep and heavy talks. We've discussed loneliness, and I've just got some fun, cool gay shit that's happening around the world. And I've just got a couple little bite-sized morsels for you to enjoy.
Fabulous.
So, dear listeners, you may or may not know this about me, but I am an avid board gamer, huge nerd. Wear that badge with honor and pride now. Didn't used to, but do now because it is part of Ben. So, I believe truly in my heart of hearts that there is a board game that is based on anything you could possibly imagine. Like, at all. It exists. It is out there. For your pleasure, I present to you a board game that is based on the Gay Sauna experience. Yes, I found a board game based purely on that. It's aptly named Gay Sauna, the board game. It's by Reroll Works. Now, it might not be one that I'm whipping out at games night with grandma or parents, because I don't think I've healed from that one time I played Cards Against Humanity with my parents.
Huh.
But I have definitely added it to my Christmas wish list.
Ben,
Yes.
are you coming to Mardi Gras?
Look, I will try my darndest.
Oh, you will?
To get there.
Fuck
I will
yeah.
try my darndest to get there. I've just got to see what work events and things are happening at that time.
Fair enough. I want to get this game and play it with all the guys.
I know. How fun would it be? That would
Definitely.
be absolutely hilarious.
Yes. Excellent. Let's do it. I'm going to win.
You're gonna win. Look,
I don't know how you win.
I haven't actually seen like the how to play stuff. I've done some reads of it and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
seen some reviews, and it
Mhm.
looks fun.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how one would win, but
Yep.
I'm keen to see what your high score is on it, Ed.
I can imagine.
The score doesn't exist. But no, so the next little bit is obviously the Halloween season has finished, which means the icy blast of Mariah Carey and Christmas is coming our way. So, am I wrong? So,
That's one of the gayest things I've ever heard.
what?
Sorry.
Like, Am I wrong though? Like, I'm not wrong. So, Christmas movies are coming, Edward,
Great.
and I can smell the hot chocolate and cinnamon.
Yes.
So, if you are a subscriber to Netflix, I really recommend checking out Single All the Way. Okay, so that is Single All the Way. The lead is Michael Urie, and there is our queen, Jennifer Coolidge, in this movie. So we've got a gay main character returning to their hometown. Will they find the love of their life? Will they leave the big city for good? Will they land the man of their dreams in a sexy snow-themed photo shoot? Ed, you're going to have to watch to find out if any and all of those things occur.
I do agree with you about Jennifer Coolidge. I had to Google her to just confirm, but yes, love that bitch. She's not just Stifler's mum, right? From, our childhood.
No, she's so much more.
Yes, White Lotus. She's brilliant. She's a perfect example of someone being vulnerable that causes connection, and it's just delightful. Like the quote unquote weaknesses in human being beautiful, lovable things. I probably don't even know that much about her, but I already do love her.
Oh, mate, I'm in the same boat. Don't know a huge amount about her, but whenever I see her, it just brings me joy. It sparks happiness. So,
Legally Blonde. Was that her?
Yes.
No way. She's super thin.
Yeah.
That's her?
Look, we got range.
Whoa. Okay. Physical range. Jesus.
We got range.
No, isn't it Reese Witherspoon?
In everything. Yeah, but I do believe Jennifer Coolidge is also in Legally Blonde as well.
Okay. But she's not this woman that I'm looking at. That's another woman. They're both blondes. I got confused.
Unless you
understand
share
women.
your screen, Ed, I'm going to go with...
Fair enough.
No?
I've just really, I am like just showing my credentials of being terrible at pop stuff, terrible at gay stuff, quote unquote gay stuff.
I love this. I love this for us. Well, look, to deviate from the world of pop, just for you, Ed.
Oh, yeah.
I have also done a little bit of research into the world of sport.
Yes.
And the Cardiff Lions do their annual game against the Diff Drag rugby team. So we have the Cardiff Lions, which is an inclusive rugby team in Wales, in the UK, and the Diff Drag team, which comprised of Cardiff's best-known drag queens, competing in a friendly match in full wig, makeup, and serving oval-shaped ball realness to raise money for charity. So if you want to see some more, jump on Instagram and check out some of the absolutely fantastic clips from the game. I want to know what wig tape and wig glue they're using, because some of these queens were bolting down the field and their wigs did not leave their head. And it was stunning.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
And here's another one for you, Ed. I was gagged. There you go.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks for being gagged.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I look forward to looking at some of those things. Do they have video replays of like big runs and stuff?
Oh yeah, it's all on their Instagram. I'm not gonna lie. 2 a.m. was going through some of it and just having a giggle.
Yeah. That sounds fantastic. I hope they raise a lot of money. That sounds really, really, really fun. Good for them. Cool. So, Ben, thank you for sharing that cool gay shit. Appreciate it. So, quick recap. The board game Gay Sauna by Reroll Works. Single All the Way. The Netflix movie. And the Cardiff Lions RFC Instagram at Cardiff Lions to watch the Diff Drag charity game. Awesome. So let's move on to our closing funny segments. Thirst Trap Theatre. Am I going first today?
I do believe you are.
Alrighty, here we go. So I'm pulling again from Reddit. So imagine a grinder screen, blue on the left, yellow on the right. Blue, hey. Yellow, Good Friday morning, ! Blue, Jesus, that's a lot. Yellow, ? Blue, tops don't use ! Probably not even a top. Don't use ! again. Bottoms only want brooding guys, not happy or excited. Learn how this works.
Oh my gosh. I would love to say that might not have been a screenshot that I have personally seen on the app, but
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so real.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't realize that we weren't allowed to use... Are we not supposed to use grammar? I no idea.
You got to be very
Learn
careful.
something every day.
Got to be very, very, very careful, Ben. Very, very careful.
Learn something every day.
Express yourself properly, gay. All right.
No exclamation marks for you.
But only
So, I love
for tops.
No, that's it. Well, there we go. I'm just going to have to rewrite all of my messages now to make sure that all messages are appropriately grammatified.
Yeah.
Which is
Don't
a
be a
word.
happy or excited top. Just be brooding.
No,
Okay.
how dare you? Well, mine, once again, comes from the Overheard at a Gay Bar Instagram, which I just derive so much pleasure from. And it is, homosexuals will need 2 hours to get ready and show up in just a shirt and a tank top. And after the last Halloween season, yes,
Yep.
that's so true.
Yep.
And I love it.
Yep. Well, you've got your pre-game drinks. You've got to get your pre-game pump on, so there'll be like a workout. That's like 1 hour. Right?
Yeah.
And then the
at
shower,
least.
the cool down, then the skincare routine, and then the check of everything, the grooming. A lot of guys wear like barely their makeup, don't they? So some of
Yeah,
that.
some do.
Checking their underwear 50 times, taking selfies before you go out. This is where it all gets accounted for.
That's where it all goes.
It makes perfect sense.
It does when you put it like that. However, I'm a jeans,
Slapdash.
t-shirt,
Yeah.
shoes,
Out the door.
done.
Same.
So
Same.
Yeah.
That's my lifestyle.
All
That's
the
my
power
spirit
to them.
animal. Sorry, go ahead.
Which one?
It's my put shirt, shorts, outdoor, shoes, done. That's my spirit animal.
Yep, that's it. I'm there. I'm living for it.
Mm-hmm.
And now, Ed, did you have another quote for us today?
I do. This one comes from @angryblkhomo, HOEMO, also known as Bareback Obama, apparently. This is a screen grab from Reddit, so I don't know what platforms Angry Black Homo is on, but Bareback Obama is pretty great. No one on this planet is more entitled than a man on a hookup app with no picture or descriptive information in his profile.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
You are all here to provide me with this experience. I am giving nothing. Absolutely
Zero.
nothing. Do you ever get tempted by the blank ones? You're like, oh, the mystery.
A little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Same.
A little bit.
Same.
But then I'm also like,
never works
the
out
energy
though.
and the effort.
Yeah, no. They're never going to get anything from me.
No.
And even when they do reveal themselves, yeah, it's often just a waste of time. But like, yeah, blank profiles. I'm always like projecting what I hope that they are, and then not that. So it never works out.
No, never does.
I get really attracted to a great profile. Like when someone just really says what's up, represents himself in a clean, clear way, especially when they're not for me. Okay, this is a little bit yucky, but I did see once a profile where someone said about eating things, the yuckiest things you can imagine eating. And I was like, good for that person. Excellent profile. Like they've been straight up honest. They've said, this is what I want to do. Is anybody interested? More power to that guy.
More power to them. And
are you with me?
Communicative,
you know what I mean?
And you're going to attract the person that wants to do that with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All the power to you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't float your goat, that's okay.
Yeah.
But if it's everyone's parlay to it and wants to do it, and that's what you're looking for, then you're not going to waste anyone's time.
And that's what sex apps are fucking for. So like, clearly write down what you like and what you want. Don't be oblivious about it. Be sensitive, appropriate, and representative. Just be you. And if people don't want you today, bad fucking luck. That's called life.
That's it. And it's okay.
Yeah. And you're never going to get that thing that you really, really want if you never ask for it. And I think that's sad.
Yeah. That's it. And you got to, and it's part of that whole knowing what you like, knowing what you want, and then being comfortable and confident enough to communicate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Get it.
Love it. Well, to close out the episode, Sir Edward, would we like to do our slightly crappy affirmations?
Yeah. I still think of them as our very crappy affirmations.
Look, I mean, maybe. But, I'm trying to, do a positive spin on it.
Yeah. We can be upbeat about it. All right. Great affirmations.
I love it.
Let's go. Awesome affirmations.
Dear listeners, we are going to take a deep breath in.
This is very exciting.
Okay, I'll go first. Don't just be a hot mess. Be a spicy disaster.
Namaste.
Mm, that is how I will go into the week.
Good. A neurospicy disaster?
Oh, mate, every day. Every day.
All right, here's my awesome affirmation for this week. Here we go. Daddy, I'm plugged into the universe, connected, calm, and kind. Even when I'm by myself, I'm never left behind. Namaste. Thank you.
Love that.
I see you. I see you, and I see you, and I see you, brother.
Love it.
God
On
is
so
love.
many levels.
God is love. Yep. That's that.
There we go.
Why did you introduce affirmations? I feel like I'm being rude to 90% of all people every time I do this.
That's why I find a funny one, Edward.
Okay. All right. I'll work on it. All right. Here we go. That's it for this week, boys and girls. Thank you very much for listening. We hope you enjoyed it. Ben, C, and I are available on Brown Bear School. Just search for school with a K, not a ch. You can follow me on Instagram at Brown Bear Coaching. Join us on School. On School is my illustrated storybook that I sometimes reference called A Gay Man. It's available to download there for free on top of the $5 a month. You can watch the workshops. Some of them are about making friends, liberating yourself, finding your own confidence, peace, direction, finding yourself. Everything we talk about in these episodes is relevant and wanted in coaching. So feel free to drop on by. If you're curious about working with me, you can DM me on Insta. I'll help you out. And I'll probably send you to my coaching clarity quiz. If your answers are a great fit for what I do, I'll invite you to a coaching experience call. And that is the very best way to get started if you want to make a lot of big personal positive change in your life in a very short amount of time. Hiring a life coach just like me might be a brilliant option for you. Start out on Instagram. So that's it. That's it, Benny Ben.
Well, thank you muchly, everyone. And until next week, next time, don't forget to make good choices.
And keep your undies clean. Or don't. Or just don't wear any.
It's sometimes easier. All right. Catch you later.
Bye.